This is the video for Algebra 1 Credit Recovery Unit 6 practice. Number 1. A horizontal line that passes through the point, -5, 4. We need the slope, the equation, and the graph. So horizontal line, remember our acronym, VUX, HOI, horizontal, has a slope of 0, and is a y equals equation. So y equals, from my ordered pair, 4. For my graph, I'm going to go to the point -5, 4. Horizontal line is side to side, like the horizon. Slope of 0. Number 2, a line that passes through the point -5, 4 and has an undefined slope. So again, I'm remembering my acronym, vertical, undefined, x, horizontal, 0, and y. So this slope, actually it gives it to us, is undefined, which we know means this line is going to have to be a vertical. Vertical, undefined, x equals, the x value from our ordered pair is -5. I'm going to the ordered pair again, -5, 4. Vertical line, straight up and down. Remember, at any time you can pause or rewind this video. Number 3. Using the graph shown, answer the following. Slope, y-intercept, 0, and the equation. Hey, the slope, this line has a positive slope because it is increasing from left to right. To find the slope, we can pick two ordered pairs. I will use this one and this one. Rise over run. I'm going up 1, 2, 3. And over 1, 2. So my slope is 3 over 2. Y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. This is a negative number, and it crosses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our y-intercept is the ordered pair 0, -6. Remember that an x-intercept, or 0, is the same thing as an x-intercept. But we only need the x value for it to be a 0. So I'm looking, where does my line cross the x-axis? 1, 2, 3, 4. So our 0 is 4. For the equation, we can use the slope and the y-intercept. So filling in with the information we know, our slope is 3 over 2. Y equals 3 over 2x plus b, or our y-intercept was -6. So y equals 3 over 2x minus 6. Moving on to number 4. Same thing, use the graph to answer the following. Starting with the slope, this is a negative slope because it is decreasing from left to right. I have a point here at the y-intercept and here at the x-intercept. I am going down 1, 2 and over 1, 2, 3. So my slope is -2 over 3. Y-intercept, where we cross the y-axis and we cross at the point 0, 2, and my 0 is the same thing as the x-intercept, but only the x value, so 1, 2, 3. The equation, y equals mx plus b. M is our slope, b is our y-intercept, so y equals -2 over 3x plus 2. Number 5 passes through -3, -1, 6, and 6, -4. Write the equation and identify m and b. Since we have 2 points, we can use our calculator to find this equation. Make sure you write the table so that when you enter your points in your calculator, you're getting them in the right spot. So my first point is -3, -1, an x and a y, and 6 and -4. For the second point, I'm going to go to Stat on my calculator, Edit. I'm going to clear out anything that's there by going up and pressing Clear, Enter. And same thing on L1, Clear, Enter. In my x column, I have -3 and 6. In my y column, I have -1 and -4. Go back to Stat, arrow over to Calc, and we need number 4. Enter, and it gives us a, which is really m, our slope, of -0.333 repeating, and b of negative 2. Now, that slope is really ugly, so we would really rather have it as a fraction. You may know what this is. If not, you can use your calculator to find it. So negative, I'm going to type in the slope that it gave me, 0.333, and since it was repeating, I'm going to type it in until the 3's go off the screen. Math, enter, gives me a fraction of negative 1/3. So anytime we have 0.333 repeating, that is the fraction 1/3. So my equation, y equals mx plus b, y equals negative 1/3 x, plus my y-intercept, which is negative 2, so minus 2. Number 6 gives us that the line has an x-intercept of 2 and a y-intercept of negative 3. So here we are given two ordered pairs. For an x-intercept, we know x is 2, and we have to remember that for an x-intercept, y is always 0. For a y-intercept of negative 3, that tells us that y is negative 3, and we have to remember, for a y-intercept, x is 0. So again, we have two ordered pairs that we can put in a table and use stat. So I have the 0.20 and 0, negative 3. Going back to stat edit, and I'm typing in my new points. Now, we want the equation in y equals mx plus b. A good check for ourselves is that we already know what b is. We know what the y-intercept is, so we should, we'll know if we entered something correctly if we get that for our y-intercept. So stat calc 4. It gives me a b value of negative 3, so that's good. Y equals, our slope is 1.5 x minus 3. Now you might see this slope as a fraction, so we need to know how to go both ways. So I'm going to type in 1.5, math, enter, turns it into a fraction. Y is 3/2 x minus 3. Number 7 says the line has a slope of negative 3 and passes through the point 4, 7. Leave in point slope form. So I could look at my formula chart and see point slope form is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1, where x1 and y1 are the ordered pairs, are the values for my ordered pair, and the slope is m. So y minus the y value is 7 equals m, my slope, negative 3, and x minus x1, 4. It says we can leave it in point slope form, so we can stop here. Number 8, a slope of negative 6, that's an m, and a y-intercept of 5. Since we have m and we have the y-intercept, which is b, we can just fill in to y equals mx plus b. So y equals slope negative 6x plus b, so plus 5. Moving on to number 9, a line that passes through the point 9, negative 6, and has a slope of 0. I see that slope is 0. That should make me think, oh, I've got to remember, bucks, hoy, 0 is a horizontal line, but has a slope of 0, and that is a y equals equation. So y equals, from my ordered pair, negative 6. A vertical line that passes through the point, negative 3, 1. So again, okay, vertical, I'm thinking that acronym, bucks, hoy. Vertical has a slope of undefined, and it is an x equals equation. So x equals, from my ordered pair, x is equal to negative 3. Number 11, a slope of negative 5 and passes through the point 1, negative 2. Write in point slope first, then convert to slope intercept. So this problem tells us we are starting in y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1, which makes sense because we have a point and we have a slope. So it makes sense for us to start in point slope form. So y minus y1, that is the y value from my ordered pair, so minus negative 2 or plus 2 is equal to m, negative 5, times x minus x1, so x minus 1. To convert this to slope intercept, which is y equals mx plus b, I know first with parentheses I need to distribute, so y plus 2 is equal to negative 5x. Negative 5 times negative 1 is positive 5. And I need the y to be by itself, so to move the 2 to the other side, I'm going to subtract. 2 minus 2 is 0. And I line it up with its like terms. y equals negative 5x 5 minus 2 is positive 3. Number 12, write an equation in point-slope form that represents the table below. So normally when we see a table, we want to do stat, which we can still do here, but we don't want to leave it in that form. We can use stat to find the slope, but then we want it in point-slope form. So y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So x1 and y1 is just a point, which we have a whole lot of points. I will pick the first one. Remember, f of x is the same as y, so I could say y minus 3 is equal to m, which we're going to use our calculator to find, times x minus x1, so x minus the x value from that point is 1. Using my calculator, stat edit, I enter all my x values, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then my y values, 3, 7, 11, 15, 19, 23. Notice since my y values, I missed something. I skipped the 3 on the x. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Notice since my y values are increasing, I should get a positive slope. So I'm going back to stat, calc 4. It tells me that my slope equals 4. So my equation could say y minus 3 is equal to 4 times x minus 1. Now remember, point slope works for any point, so I could have used a different point. Maybe I wanted to use this one. Y minus 19 is equal to 4 times x minus 5. You just have to make sure that it has the correct slope and that the x and the y are in the right place and from the same ordered pair. This is the end of the video for Credit Recovery Unit 6.